I want you to first pay attention. Over here in these panels, we have a layers panel. Layers are a very important part of Photoshop. I just did a quick Google search to tell us what are layers. And Google tells us layers are like stacked, transparent sheets of glass on which you can paint images. So you can create different elements on different layers and stack them and rearrange them. The layer that shows up at the top will show up in front, and the layer at the bottom will show up at the back. Why are they important? Layers are important because you can work on different layers one at a time without changing your image as a whole, and you can rearrange those layers and edit them separately. So the first thing we want to do is create a background layer. So right now we don't need to change anything in our layers because we are just creating a background. In the tutorial about creating a textured background using brushes, you will paint right on this background layer, so you won't have to worry about that. Once you have created your background, this is where we want to start thinking about layers. Maybe the next thing I want to add onto my project is my name. I might click create a new layer and then go get my text tool and add my name. Funny thing about the text tool is when I click off and I go back to my text tool, if you just click, it will create a new layer for you, so you don't have to create a new layer every time you use your text tool. Now let's say I added this text and I really don't need that anymore. I can make sure I'm clicked on this text layer that I want deleted, and I can press delete. And I'll click yes. So right now I just have my name and my background. Now let's say I have a few more elements added. Okay, now I have several elements added, but in my project I can't see all of these layers. Right now I can't even see my name. Right now I can't see my name because my name is on a layer that is underneath several other layers. So if I wanted to see my name, I could drag this up to the very top, and now I can see my name. Maybe I want my moon phases above my mandala, and now I have that above my mandala. Now let's say I wanted to see my mandala through my moon phases layer. I will make sure I'm clicked on the correct layer I want to edit, and I can turn the opacity down, which makes this image see-through. And maybe I will move that to the very center. Now we have a few more things in our layers panel. Let's say I wanted to see what things look like without the moon phases on there, but I know I want to bring the moon phases back later. I can click this eyeball to hide layers. It's still there, I haven't deleted it. I can just click it again to bring it back. Let's say I am trying to move my moons around and figure out where I want them, and I keep accidentally picking up my exploration word, and I want that to be left alone. I know I don't want to edit that anymore. So I can go to my exploration layer and click lock. Now, when I go try to move that word, it won't edit because that layer is locked, and I will only be able to move layers that are unlocked. I'm making a tutorial.
Hello!
Mr. Green is here. He says hello.
That's beautiful.
Wow, thank you. All these different layers. You see the text layers are automatically named what text is on our project, but our other things are labeled layer 1, layer 2. Once you start making projects with hundreds of layers, this gets really confusing. So we want to make sure to double click and rename our layers anything that makes sense to you. So maybe I name this one Moon Phases. Maybe I name this one Mandala. So we remember the layer that shows up at the top will show up in front, and the layer at the bottom will show up at the back.